It's fun, crazy. It's painful, but it's wonderful. What is the name?
It's Reusse Unchained.
So, Patrick, I only have one question. What's gotten into Jorge Polanco?
I don't know. And I mean, all the Twins fans are ripping the Twins for letting him go. Last year, you could have had him for $1.50. He didn't play at all. He didn't have a contract, and somehow he convinced the Mariners to give him 7.75 or something, and they brought him back. And I kept looking during the year, starting the year, he wasn't playing all the time and anything, and all of a sudden he started hitting and producing. But this is unbelievable. I mean, they won 2 games because of Jorge Polanco. That's why they're up 2-0. And also the last, the other playoff series, he was very important too. So it's great to see. I mean, we all liked him, and I've said before, one of the most shocking days I've ever had in spring training was the day you find out that he popped positive for steroids or whatever it was. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I remember him. He was sitting over in the corner in the locker in the clubhouse there, and we were finding this out. And I finally, he was never an effusive guy to talk to anyway. He was a nice guy, but he never really had much to say. And I think a couple of us wandered over there and got I made a mistake quote, it was unintentional, but anyway, he was the starting shortstop for the American League in an All-Star game early in his career. Then we decided he wasn't much of a shortstop and moved him to second, but best buddy, grew up with Miguel, right? Grew up with Miguel. A mile apart, they played kid ball all the way up in the Dominican. And Jorge was always extremely loyal to Miguel, even though they were the 180-degree difference in personalities and approach to life and approach to everything. And because he was so serious about baseball, Jorge's still playing and being a hero, and Miguel's back in the Dominican doing whoever knows what the hell he's doing. So anyway, but yeah, and the other thing here, I think we can get Louis Varland back if we want him.
Yeah, it's been a very up and down, huh? Because he has had some moments, but some of them have been really bad, including yesterday.
Too many home runs. He gave up. He gave up those 2 in a row to the Yankees last week, and then 2 out of 3 batters, and then yesterday, they come fighting back to tie it 3-3, and boom, here we go. So I was exchanging texts with my everybody's pal, America's pal, even though he's a Canadian, Tom Linneman, last week, and I said something about Varland, and he said, I think you can have him back if you want him. So they're down on him. They weren't that high on him in Toronto because of some various episodes of long balls and runs scored during the stretch drive there, but. It was. Seattle is screwing up every opportunity they could to win the game the other night, going into 15 innings. In fact, I think I went out on Twitter and said, "You can't win the game when you miss this many opportunities," as Seattle did in extra innings, and yet they win that game, and now. Now they're going home up 2-0. It's a weird. It's weird. It's always been a weird ball game. Baseball. It's strange things happen. I mean, the other day, and have you ever heard of anything like this? The other day in Toronto, they opened by giving up a home run on the first pitch, and Toronto doesn't score again. Toronto doesn't come out. How does that happen? One pitch into the game, you have a run, and that's the only one you get. It was extremely weird, to say the least.
Did you see the 8-6-2 grounded it into double play last night in the Dodgers-Brewers game? Bases loaded, 1 out, and it was the center fielder, Sal Frelick, didn't catch the ball.
Yes.
But he made the play on the ball. It hit the wall. The guy on third base, I think it was Teoscar Hernandez, was tagging up, so he went late. They got him on a force play at the plate, and then the catcher went and tagged third because everyone thought that the ball had been caught from the Dodgers.
Yes, it was. Yes, a wonderful screwed up situation. That's what a lot of times that's what makes it a great goofy game. There's strange stuff, but I'm very upset by my Brewers. Who's the guy at the end that got that performed a gymnastics trick not to get hit by a pitch that would have driven in the tying run? What is taken on the leg there, buddy? Who was that?
Bryce Terang.
Bryce Durang, and then he strikes out.
Yes.
And then on the next pitch over his head, he strikes out, and that's it. But man, was Blake Snell good? What? He never throws a fastball anymore. He just throws a variety of breaking pitches. But do you think Kevin Cash was sitting down in Tampa watching the game, saying, "Boy, I was an idiot for pulling him out of that game a few years ago at what, the fifth inning or the fourth inning or something?" And
I forget when it was, but it was as untimely as pull in a game like that as you could possibly get.
Yeah, well, and I was laying on the couch sitting downstairs, and when they pulled him, I went to my phone and called Jack Morris and said, "What'd you think of that, Jack?" And this was in the days when you had deadlines and versatility at a newspaper where you could send in 8 or 10 quick graphs. And I got Jack and immediately wrote 8, 9 graphs. They put it online. They put it in the paper, and it got picked up all over the nation. Jack,
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Jack, Jack saying, in fact, Jack answered the phone and said, "Ricey, I know why you're calling." That was like 3 minutes after they hooked Snell. I called him, and he went off. Now, that's the way baseball is managed now. But hey, it was great to see that everybody said, "Boy, they might get a seventh inning out of him." And Dave Roberts said, "The hell with it. The way he's going, I'm going to get an eighth inning out of him." So it was pretty fabulous. And he's another guy, Judd, that after last year, people are they're kind of doubtful about him, and he's looking like he's on the downhill, and now he's their savior. But
Yeah.
I don't think we can avoid the Dodgers being in the World Series. Do you? Ah,
I hope so.
yeah, I do
I mean,
too.
the Brewers and M's, which I think, as you said a couple days ago, will drive TV executives crazy.
Yes,
The Brewers and Mariners would be such a marvelous, as a
yes.
fan, such a
Oh
marvelous
yeah,
World
oh
Series.
yeah. It would be great, and it's
It's the pilots too, Pat.
yeah, yeah, right. We got the
It's the old
Pilots connection.
pilots.
You can go back and do that fabulous story of, as I said the other day, the trucks early, the equipment trucks, which back then was about two. It's not now. It's a caravan.
Right.
The equipment trucks heading north, and they said when you get to Denver, call, and we'll tell you whether to go right to Milwaukee or left to Seattle to drop off the equipment.
So that's how it happened, huh?
Huh?
Like they basically left Florida without a clue.
No, Arizona. They were in
Or
Arizona.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
they left Arizona,
okay,
but yes,
gotcha.
they did. That's how late the Brewers came into existence in Milwaukee. It was like 3 days before the season started, or 4 days. Yes, we're moving to Milwaukee. So it's you know, Bud and the crew were very adaptable right then. I wonder. I have to look back and see, but did we? I wonder. I bet. Why weren't we down there watching that when they all of a sudden the baseball comes back to County Stadium with 10 minutes warning or something? I'm sure they were painting the field and getting it ready. Did they? I can't remember when they told us that the team was going to be called the Brewers either. If they announced that before they ever had them or not, it was.
I don't think
I
so.
mean, it's one of the all-time great stories of a base, and it also tells you the difference between baseball in 1970 and
Oh
all
God,
professional sports in 1970
exactly.
and today, that, well, here's the schedule, by the way. We got how do you think that schedule looked? Because
Oh,
they had Seattle in the schedule, I presume. So I think a lot of teams had to make trips. Thought they were out on the West Coast thinking they'd play twice, and then all of a sudden they were back in the Midwest. So
April 1st, 1970, according to
yes,
Wikipedia, is the date. So April 1st, the
April
season has
1st.
started by then now.
Yes, they are. But when did they? So look it up. When did they play in Milwaukee then for the first time? The Brewers, and did they open and
Hold on a second. I'll find it. This is a
yeah,
great question. But I mean, yeah, 1 year. So weren't they in,
six
didn't they
stadium
file
they were. Oh, they
bankruptcy?
they filed bankruptcy. They were playing outdoors in this little
Yep.
tiny stadium, and they get rained out about every other day. That was the
Ball
problem.
4 by Boughton is with the
Oh,
year, his year with the Pilots is one of the
oh,
great books of all time.
well, it changed. It changed sports writing. It changed it. Jim Boughton's book changed sports writing, and it changed how sports were reported on television too. It changed. It brought irreverence to sports, is what it did. That book.
To
So
answer your question, so on April 1st is the date of the
yeah,
move. 6 days later, on April 7th, the now Brewers opened at home against the California Angels and lost 12-0 at County Stadium before
really,
36,000
that was
people.
pretty good. Pretty good.
Hey,
12
their
home
second game,
goals.
Pat, their second game, so like they just moved, okay?
Yeah.
Their second game at County Stadium against the Angels, 7,575.
People were, they had to go to work. They couldn't take the days off. But how many times were you in County Stadium? Few.
Oh yeah, probably 5, at least 5. I loved
I
it.
love it. I love
Complete
that
dump, but I
old
loved
dump.
it.
I love that dump. Yeah, it was a better dump than Met Stadium because of course the Packers played 3 games a year there too all
Yep.
the time, which was uh, uh, I remember Vikings Packers games down there when they'd gotten they'd put the two wide receivers together and they were going to conquer the world, and then the Vikings went down there and beat them. That was whatever.
John Jefferson and Lofton.
Yeah, that's right.
They got Jefferson from the Chargers. Yeah.
Jefferson from the Chargers, and they had the big ceremony, and then the Vikings beat them. And what I remember most is that Sid was sitting in the front row and made an impolitic comment that could be heard throughout that little press box there, which I won't repeat. But it was a oh God, Sid moment, where we had a few of those, but in this quiet press box, because their football press box was this little tiny place down the right field line, and you could carry on a conversation with somebody in the front row, and that
Right.
was it was. But yeah, I loved County Stadium, and I loved what I loved the most about County Stadium was Sealing was next door in that little booth there, the executive booth, which is not as nice as your home studio, was
Right.
and Steely would get mad and come in there with his Tipperello, and he'd do this little lap through the press box, insulting all the writers from Milwaukee, but also insulting his team. I remember once he came in there and said, "These guys are all on drugs." 'Cause that was Daryl Porter in that team, and,
Oh
and he
yeah.
was right.
Oh,
He
they
was
were.
right.
Yeah.
He said this team is all. It was his team. He said this team is all on drugs because he knew nobody was going to quote him. I mean, back in early, whatever this was, mid 70s or whatever, we appreciated smart aleck remarks and you didn't have to worry about 8 people from collectives that would be there to
Right.
get a headline.
It wouldn't be out on Twitter within 5 seconds.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, I'm with you. It would be great if we could get the Brewers, but I don't think they match up with that club. Do you?
Well, I mean, probably not.
They played
Probably
over
not.
their head. I mean, they played over their head for so long and so
Yeah.
impressive. But hey, it's not
I
over
mean, it's
yet.
close last night, though. It's not like they
Oh
got
yeah.
blown out.
No, they just they haven't been hitting lately. That's they haven't really been. But yeah, they still got a shot. It would be great. So, and Toronto is. You can say Toronto is dead, but then you go out and win Game 3, and then you're
Right.
back in it. So anyway,
Right. Hey, when are we going to get any news on the Twins? Do you think?
it seems pretty quiet now. They used to have the deal where you weren't supposed to name a manager in the play, in the but that was during the World
World
Series, right?
Series.
I mean, well,
Yeah.
because the playoffs are so long now, you can't tell a team they can't name a
Right.
manager. But I don't know. Nobody knows who they're interviewing, what their hurry is. What do you? I don't have any idea who they're looking at. Uh, I don't know. How about Scott Cervais? They like a catcher, and he got fired out in Seattle, but he has a pretty good reputation. Somebody like that. I don't know.
David Ross? I mean, I have
David
no
Ross.
idea.
David Ross has got a bigger personality. I think that would
Yeah.
maybe they'll be looking for that. My candidate, Mike Napoli, just because he works for Tito, Terry Francona, and he's a former catcher, and he's got a big personality. But I don't know if they have any idea what they want to do. But they can't be dumb enough to present us with Jace Tingler, can they?
I hope they don't present us with anyone who is deemed to be internal, Pat.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, Hank Conger, who I've seen mentioned. I do not want to, come on.
If you're going to start this, how about Reusse? And I wonder what I saw him around. Everybody liked him, but I don't know if he's got the big enough personality for the job either. I don't know. Plus, it's a crapshoot, who you're going to end up with. But I don't think that the managerial change is going to win you any more games. It's up to the personnel. So
Yep.
I give Rocco zero responsibility for what happened this year. Now, last year, when they finished 12-27, there was plenty of criticism to go around. But
Yeah.
I guess the shock of the Twins this year is how bad they were able to be with Buxton playing like he did. If just think if he'd been hurt all year again, instead of compiling 70 wins, you might have won 60, for goodness sakes. So.
You talk about a star-crossed career, too. Like, he finally gets healthy, puts together this unbelievable year, and it's as bad, and nobody cares because it's as bad a year as you could possibly have, and your fan base hates you now.
Yes, that is, it is phenomenal how, when you read about when you read the comments of the Twitter or the Star Tribune or anywhere, this could be any random thing happening in Minnesota sports, and there's shots being taken at the poll ads and the Twins within there. At least it's better than the Twins or something like that. So it's now. So how'd your hockey team look last night? I forgot to watch them. I don't like these Monday night games. They sneak up on you, especially early in the season.
I feel like my North Stars did not play a lot on Monday nights.
No.
I agree with you. They have not scored a 5-on-5 goal in 2 games.
Really?
Yep. Power play, 4 power play goals in the loss to Columbus, 3 power play goals, and they were up 3-0 last night, and they frittered it away and darn near lost because the Kings ended the overtime with a power play before the shootout.
Wow. And but Wallstead was okay, or what?
He was okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just fear there's not a lot of score after the first line, which is all their big guns with Boldy and Kaprizov. There's not a lot of scoring after that.
How do you like Rossi so far? Okay.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, he's fine.
He's they don't have to keep messing around and looking for a different center on that line or anything.
Oh, I think they will, but
Oh yeah.
but I mean, he's not. If there are problems, he's not a problem.
Okay. So did we have a non-sellout on a Monday night early in the year? Did they?
I think so. A lot of empty seats in the upper. You know
Yeah.
those seats at the end of the upper
Yeah.
deck there at
Yeah.
the end zone seats.
Yeah.
Those were there were a lot of those to be had, Pat.
That's a tough sell right there. A Monday night early in the season when people haven't even figured out what the schedule is. So anyway.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay. Well, and then we have our Vikings. Gasoline had a pretty good piece today on the which something I've been talking about too is the quick decisions made on quarterbacks. When you look at Mayfield and I mean Darnold's numbers are terrific this year too, and they
Hmm.
won again. What are they? 4-1? Seattle 4-1, something like that. They're up to a good start, I think.
I
And
think so. Hold on,
and
I'll find out.
it's nobody's nobody's unbeaten anymore in the league, but he's got some big numbers. Darnold and Mayfield, of course, is quite a resurrection story. Just think if the
4-2.
Cleveland, just think if the Cleveland Browns had just kept him
Yep,
instead of going through all these things. But we looked it up the other day. Were we talking about it that the cap hit on if they let Watson go, the cap hit next year would be
that wasn't
100,
us, but it's huge.
131 million would be the cap hit.
Yeah.
Who's everybody involved in that has to be fired. If you were even in the building
Well,
when
the
they
owner's
made
got
it, yeah, the owner should have
I
to
mean,
fire himself.
he's involved.
Now, who is that? Is that still
Yeah.
Haslam? Yeah, it's still him. He's a nut job, right?
Yep. Yep.
Now,
So yeah, he's a problem. But so the Vikings thing though is it's because yes, I agree. And first of all, 2 starts. I mean, come on. But the thing with McCarthy is just for the short term who starts. It was interesting that O'Connell did talk a lot yesterday about how much they worked this during the bye week on
yes.
McCarthy's like mechanics and things. Like they're
Mhm.
you could tell they're not thrilled with how he plays the game. I think he practices technically fine,
Yes.
but then he plays in the game and he gets out of sorts. And so I think that's what they're trying to fix.
I think he throws with a bad foundation. I think
That's what they
he's,
said.
yeah.
100%. 100%.
That's what it's kind of like he's not on his back foot making the committed throw.
Because I couldn't understand after watching him in the workouts and training camp, I couldn't understand why there was this knock against him at Michigan for his arm. But then I saw him play games, and the problem is, it's not his arm; it's his foundation.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
what makes the
Oh,
out
he's a,
routes look weak is
yeah.
the actual foundation, his feet, his legs, because he's trying to use all arm, and that doesn't work.
And he's an athlete, and I'm
Yeah,
playing, able to throw and run and do all that stuff at Michigan. And at Michigan, let's face it, he had the best defense in the country and the best running game. So it made it a little easier. I still think he's an athlete, but have we ever? I mean, Viking fans, admit it. You took that fourth quarter and decided that you left the bar screaming, "We finally have our quarterback!" And yeah, it's a very tough position, and you can't make your decision based on 10 minutes. So, and those of us who've been having fun ripping him just to agitate Viking fans are also being way premature here. We have no idea
yeah.
what we have here, but he's enough of an athlete that he should turn into a quarterback. It's just going to take a while.
I want to find out though if I want to find out now. I do not want to go down this Carson Wentz. Let's just, let's play Carson Wentz. You're not winning a Super Bowl with Carson Wentz. You're not going to do that much. So
Uh,
I would prefer, as long as they don't think he's going to hurt himself, I would prefer McCarthy be allowed to struggle through it because you've got to allow guys to get through it.
Yeah, and here you get to play a struggling Eagles team that your defense might be able to win the game for you. And
Yep.
yeah, I don't have it either. I mean that you're right. If you ride out with Carson Wentz, then what happens?
Right.
Carson Wentz. I mean Carson Wentz. If you
Carson.
ride
Yes,
out the
I agree.
whole year, what do you think? You're gonna maybe win a playoff game, but very unlikely you won't. So anyway,
Yeah.
how about the
Yep.
Bears? Should we fear the Bears here? The Bears are, after looking absolutely god awful the first couple of games. It looks like a 4-team race right now, doesn't it?
3 in a row too for the Bears.
Yeah,
Yes, it does. It
yeah,
does.
and
And Detroit lost the game to the Chiefs on Sunday, which was a fun game. So yeah, that's just the NFC is wide open, man, wide open. And the amount of and it's every year, but the amount of injuries. I mean, San Francisco
yeah,
is just decimated.
yeah, they have nobody playing. By the way, how do you think the Viking fans would be handling? They're going into Kansas City and having the Chiefs commit no penalties. You think we might be complaining a little bit on the
No, not at all.
what? How can that be possible?
It's not.
I mean that they got the tackle that backs up on every play. He's bailing out, backing up, and what is going on there? Did you see the great meme that they got out there of Mahomes having his loving arms around the female official there?
No,
That's
but
a
that's a
pretty
good
good
one.
one. That is a good one.
That's
Yeah,
a good one. Hey,
yeah.
how about speaking of how about James Franklin getting fired by Penn State
Unbelievable.
with that buyout?
Yes. What are we, 50 something, right? Or is it
Yeah, and
over?
supposedly, if what I saw is correct, it was Adidas, which is like you got to get rid of them, and they're like, okay,
Adidas?
yeah, it was like it was like the corporate side. It's like, yeah, this isn't working for you.
Oh, man, that's unbelievable. I mean, last year I mean, they've had a couple of bad weeks. There's no doubt about it. And I never thought of him as an in-game coach, but he's a recruiting SOB, and
Yeah,
they've had great players. And listen, you think you're this God, God's gift to if I'm a great athlete from the South, you better have about twice as much NIL money as anybody else to get me to go up there on that hill and freeze my ass off on a campus
yep.
where winter comes on October 26th.
Indiana, Cuban is that's what that is all about. They finally got boosters who are paying huge, and that is why,
Oh,
like
is
they're well
Cuban
coached now.
is Cuban giving them a lot of money?
I guess he is. Yes.
Well, what do you think the odds of the next coach at Penn State being Signetti?
How about Matt Rule? He's supposed because he
Well,
played
what
there.
the hell? I saw that. Why would you
Yeah.
want him? He can't win in Nebraska.
Well, I don't know if
Why would?
Signetti's going to leave though, man, because he's got the NIL money. Once you have that, I think you're pretty much in great shape.
Yeah, but he's a stiff. He's a nothing. He wanted. He
No.
wanted.
I'm saying Signetti though. Signetti leaving the Hoosiers makes less sense if he's got his money there.
Oh,
So
sure.
if
Yeah,
he
and then
says no and they get Rule, and you know what happens if they get Rule? You know whose name comes up for the Cornhuskers job?
our guy,
Our guy.
who's dominated the Cornhuskers, dominated him, had the chance to win what his sixth straight against them on Friday.
Almost lost to Purdue, but we'll let that go by.
Yes, and they did give up 450 yards to Purdue, which is a little bit of a problem. But it was I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched a third of it maybe. But what was the deal with pass interference? You apparently could do anything you wanted with the receivers and not have it called. Huh?
I was at
And
the
then
Wild game, so I saw bits and pieces, but I didn't
but the
see enough to
last
know.
play of the game, I
I
mean, the
heard this,
one
yeah.
that won the game, they tackled the guy in the end zone, and nobody even said anything. The broadcasters didn't say anything, and Barry Odom didn't go nuts on the sideline, and then the Gopher fans were all saying, "Well, Purdue committed 6 pass interferences against the Gophers that weren't called." So you just get you now get these crews that call everything, and then the next week you might get the ones that call none of it. There's a great inconsistency in all of
Yes.
officiating. Well, the NFL has the same problem. I mean, we just
Yes, it
had it in Kansas City. You cannot play an NFL football game without committing a penalty. Okay, that cannot happen. And I'm on the side of the guy who from Detroit who punched the opponent who pushed him off. I'm on his side. I'm on his side. I don't blame him for being irate that the fella that just pushed him out of the side to catch the ball then wants to come over and shake his hands. I say go ahead and punch him. That's
Punch
fine.
him. That's
Yeah,
okay. No,
it's
no
football.
suspension.
And plus, the guy's wearing a helmet. He's not, you're, the odds are much stronger. You're going to break your hand than break that guy's face, right?
Well, probably. All right. Hey, but before we're done here, sell me a car.
Hey, Jim Paul and Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers out there, Cedar Avenue, head down there. Buick SUVs on the lot, or we can bring exactly what you need to you within a couple of days. They got a great variety of SUVs there and terrific prices, big factory rebates, low interest rates, great financing. I've dealt with the people out at the Valley Group of GM dealers out on Cedar Avenue now, my last 7, 8 cars. And it's a fantastic place to do business. They'll take care of you. They'll make sure the finances work for you. Jim Paul and Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers, straight out Cedar Avenue. Check them out.
All right, sir. We will talk to you on Wednesday.
All
Patrick.
right, sir. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.